everybody. I'm here today and throughout this month of March 2024, I'm tackling a little challenge that Kelly at collage-lab.com has put out, collage-lab.com. And if any of you guys follow me, she's the one that tossed out she does the Trovember challenge that I did back in November. So check out her website. For the month of March, she's doing mixed media March minis. I've got the information below. You guys check it out. It's kind of a prompt challenge to explore different mixed media techniques and things of that nature. So it's not really an ephemera making challenge. It's not really going to have a final product. My thought process is these are going to be smaller little videos, just kind of go over different prompts and ideas to explore mixed media. You can follow along with me. You can follow along with her. I think she's doing a YouTube video. It's on Instagram. The hashtag is MMMminis. Several different prompts. I don't know that she's going in any kind of order. But today I'm going to go over the first prompt on her list. I feel like I'll switch around a little bit, but I'm going to start with the first prompt, and it's Asemic writing. Several different ways to pronounce that, I'm sure, but Asemic is how I pronounce it. Basically, the definition of this is a wordless, open semantic form of writing. There's no specific semantics, no specific semantic content. I kind of think of it as gibberish. You may have noticed it in, I don't see it very often, but every once in a while you see it. Basically, it's kind of like I see it as to kind of give the effect that there's writing on a page, but maybe the artist or the creator doesn't want to have to come up with exact words or, whatever. So they kind of just do some gibberish on the page to make it look like writing. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. But since it's kind of non-specific per se, it leaves the meaning open to the imagination or open to interpretation as to what's actually being said or what, like if it's written on a piece of paper, what is said on the paper, or what is the artist trying to convey with this scribbles basically on the page. There are a couple of, in my just little bit of quick researching to kind of make sure I said the word right and I knew exactly what I was thinking that this meant. There are a couple of famous artists that use it in their works. I'm going to get their names spelled. I'm going to get their names pronounced wrong, but the first one that I came across is Cy Twombly. And then the other one is, I kind of consider more famous. Last name is Kandinsky. And I think his first name, or their first name, I'm not sure if it's male or female, but is Wasily, but Kandinsky. That's the name I know, Kandinsky. But anyways, they kind of sometimes use an Asemic approach in some of their works. You may see it, little scribbles here and there. So what's the point of Asemic writing? Aside from just kind of like mark making or decorative additions to your pieces, it could be used kind of as if you're a writer's block, just kind of blah, 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 just kind of to get the wheels in motion, to get the wheels flowing. It's kind of a creative stimulation, I guess. So it can be used to cure writer's block and, again, to get the wheels going again. I have seen it before used in meditation. I'm exploring a little bit of Buddhism, meditation, things of that nature. And I've seen it used in that realm of like just personal journaling. And again, going back to a writer's block, you're in a meditation and you're just kind of scribble, scribble, scribble to kind of keep the flow going, kind of thing. But as a general rule, I like to think of it as just an overall general self-expression, adding a unique something to the creative work. So I wanted to kind of just, I picked out some pages. I've never really done Asemic writing per se, but I think it could be fun. And so I pulled out some of my scraps. I've got some, these are old vintage, like almost like a ledger type index card, that are old and typed. I've got some papers here, like some scrapbook papers that are kind of lined. I don't know if you can see them or not. I thought we could play around with those. This is just a vintage or an old book page. There's some stamps we could write over. This is a collage board of stamps that I did a while back. It's on some cardstock. This is a Trader Joe's package. Some other vintage typed pages. And then these are some pages from like a, I want to say like a family history type book. But anyways, I thought we could kind of just play around with these. I've got kind of my markers out, and I really want to play around with this first. I've never really done, again, Asemic writing. I mean, I've done scribble and all that, but not, I have a feeling I'm going to think too much on this as part of my hang up. I think I'm going to think too much about it. So I encourage you to Google Asemic writing. There's tons of examples, tons of different ways it's incorporated into art and things of that nature. And so, so yeah, I encourage you to check that out. I am just going to just kind of my thought process. And again, I feel like I am going to overthink this, but maybe not. It's just kind of like I kind of really see it more as a mark making. You know, and from a glance, you would kind of look and be like, oh, there's writing on that. She's written down a lot of stuff. But when you like really look at it, it's like, there is no rhyme or reason to what she's got going on that paper. Yeah, so I think it's kind of fun to play around with. Oh, there's a Y and a G. I don't know if we meant to do that. And I don't think there's any rules saying you can't have actual letters. Or actual words scribbled in throughout it. You know, I think it's really more of just a free-flowing. I kind of think of it as a brainstorm with pen and paper. No, not a brainstorm. A brain dump, but without no rhyme or reason, if that makes any sense. Funny how I'm starting the same. I've got the kind of the same starting. So maybe you learned something about yourself by playing around with this. Again, it's a good way to add some character to your scraps. It's a good way to play around with mark making. It's a good way to explore and use your different pens. Let's see, I kind of feel like I want to, I'm starting to make the same, the same little shapes and all that. Which, I mean, may not be a bad idea if I can have kind of like a pattern that kind of similar type marks, you know. That may be another way to create, you know, like I said, almost like a little pattern, but not really. Another way you could do it, and let's see here, is let's do, I am by nature, I am right-handed. Years ago, many years ago, when I was in first grade. I broke these 3 fingers. And my first grade teacher said, you know, I tried hard. It's like, oh, I can't work, you know, I can't do my schoolwork. And the teacher was like, yeah, you can. And so I can write with my left hand. Takes a little practice, takes a little patience. But anyways, that would be another way to do some Asemic writing, is to use your non-dominant hand. As you can see, it's kind of, the squigglies on my non-dominant hand are more jagged. Because it's, I think, you know, my brain's trying to control that, that hand doing that thing. So let's play around with this. I like the left-handedness. This one I'm doing a little bigger. And if you're not at all practiced using your non-dominant hand, try to write a word. Try to actually spell something out. You know, it might be interesting to see what you get. Again, I think it's kind of cool as far as like just general mark making. I'm gonna do a double one on this. Hang on, let me get through this black, and I'll add another color to this. It's kind of going everywhere. So if you're in some sort of creative block, or if you're a writer and you're in some sort of writing block, you know, maybe get some paper down and start scribbling around, and, you know. I think I'm going to stick with my left hand, mainly because I feel like I'm going to overthink it if I... This gold really doesn't show up very much on this. Okay, so let's see here. Again, another way to play around with it and see. I didn't find my paint pens. If any of you have been hanging around for a little while, you know I was doing my paper peoples. I was looking for my paint pens. I didn't find them, so I went and got me another little set, just a basic set from Michael's. This I'm just adding little tidbits here and there. I'm going to go use my other hand. On this, I'm having to scratch over the stamps, because this again is a collage board that I did a while back. So let's see here. What else do we have? Let's do some, I wonder if I can do some big bold. Got a bigger Sharpie. I dotted my eye on that. I guess in my brain I was thinking it was an I. And, you know, again, there you can think of words and try to scribble out words or whatever. No, I don't think there's much as far as rules when it comes to this. And with that being said, let's see here. That was our big marker. Let's use our little marker. Again, I'm using my non-dominant hand, so it's a little more jagged, whereas my dominant hand's more flowy and bubbly, I guess. And so what am I going to do with all these pieces? They'll make cool backgrounds and collage fodder. I'm sure you can if you really wanted to. My pen's dying. If you really wanted to, if you had a theme you were working on or whatever, you could really, you know, play around with it to kind of go along with, you know, if you were having, what am I trying to say? The jagged is more stark and more bold. My dominant hand is more flowy and more, you know, you could play around with different color schemes and, you know, to kind of go along if you needed some background material that was specific. I like that one. That was specific to, you know, what you were working on at the time or whatever. Let's see here. We got some of these. I'm going to use my non-dominant with this big guy. You know, like if you had a theme that there were certain words you could try to write and to go along with the theme and all that, that's certainly an option. Let's see here. What else do we have that we can work with? It's got a blue. I'm just going to kind of go over this big that I've already gone. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it to add, you know, like I said, add a little bit of character and play around with a little bit of creative expression. And I really like how this blue is on top of the big black. I really like that a lot. And so, like, far away, this would look like something gibberish written down. But up front, it's like, that's really not anything important. So there you have it. Played around with and got a couple of good pieces, I think. Good backgrounds to play around with. For collage fodder, and again, this is over some stamps. It's kind of cool. So yeah, there you have it. Again, I'm participating in Mixed Media March Minis. So this is one of those little episodes. Again, it's under 15-20 minutes. Kelly at collage-lab.com is the host of this. Check it out. Check it out. What all she's doing. Check out her website. She's got tons of classes that are fun to play around with. So I'll be doing this for March. We'll be back with our next prompt. I'm not going to share the prompts with you because of the way she's got the challenge set up. And I respect that. So today's play around for Mixed Media March Minis was Asemic writing. Give it a try. Play around with it to use up some of your scraps, to test some of your markers, to add some collage fodder or backgrounds to your creative endeavors. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys again soon. Bye for now.